I started in the roofing industry 2002, I believe, is when I started. I was a
Wow.
bartender for a long time, and one of my regulars at the bar, he was with a company called Guardian Building Products.
Growing is not that easy. Growing and reaching a next level is not easy. You just told your story. You have been 22 years in the roofing industry. You have been in all positions. People that is starting already want to reach the next level. Guys, you need to understand that everything has a process and a stage.
Now,
Mhm.
I don't have all the answers.
Mhm.
I never have until I die, I will never have all the answers. I'm always
Mhm.
learning also because I have to do this to myself.
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
learning every day. But with my experience, I can show you this is what it is. Here is my recommendation. I think you need to do this.
What's up, roofing fam? Welcome to one more show, Conversations with Leaders. And this time I am super excited because I have a guest that I have been waiting for the last weeks. And the topic that we are going to talk today, it is one of my favorite topics, that is training and consulting. If you guys are following the show, most of the episodes we have been talking about training and consulting and focusing on yourself, training yourself and focusing on yourself. Now, as I do it in every show, I'm going to start presenting my guest. Well, so I'm going to start. My guest, he has been working in the roofing industry for more than 20 years. He has been trained more than 1,000 of companies, and he works in one of the biggest distributors in the country, the biggest and the best, SRS Distribution. Bryan, welcome to your show.
Thanks for having me.
No, you're welcome, Bryan. It's my pleasure. I have some topics super important. The goal of the show, I'm going to explain you a little bit. The goal is to have the leaders, to have most of the leaders of the roofing industry in the show and present the latest trends in the industry and what are you seeing with all your experience, so we can share it. We are doing it in Spanish and in English in both messages. Actually, the show is starting in Spanish because that was going to be the goal, but we need some English too. And I like to force my community that they can start practicing English too, because even, yes, the Latino community, we are Latinos, but we need to start practicing and learning English. Okay. So yes, super important. So fam, don't forget, subscribe to the channel. If you like it, give it a thumbs up if you like the show, and share it so more people can benefit about it. Okay fam, let's get it on. Let's start introducing my guest, Bryan Pinder. We want to know about you. We want to know about your experience. I want to know about your 20 years of experience in the roofing industry. Bryan, let's tell us about yourself.
Okay. I am originally from Garland, Texas. So I can say I'm probably one of the few people that are actually from here in Dallas, which is always kind of strange to me because there's a lot of transplants here. But I am from here, and I started in the roofing industry 2002, I believe, is when I started. I was a bartender for a long time, and one of my regulars at the bar, he was with a company called Guardian Building Products. He ran the location there in DFW, and they had just had a big storm over in Fort Worth. And, he said in passing, "Hey, I'd love for you to come over. You seem like you'd be great in sales," and yada, yada. And so at the time I was like, I'm loving the bartender life. I'm in my late 20s, everything's fun, doing great. So I was like, I think I'm okay. But it kept staying right here. I was like, ooh, maybe I need a change. So I finally agreed, and I went from going to bed when the sun's coming up to getting into a role where, I'm going to bed when the sun's going down. So I
Uh-huh.
completely changed my whole culture, my whole way of life. But when I started over there, he started me in the warehouse. And so
Okay.
I was loading trucks. We built doors. So I was loading trucks of doors, loading trucks with insulation, nails, everything, including roofing. And then I started driving trucks. So I started doing deliveries from there, and then they moved me inside for inside sales. And so I started doing that, and then eventually it got to the point where I was ordering the materials that we needed to have in the warehouse. So I started doing that, and then after about 2 or 3 years of working on the inside, they took me outside, and then I became outside sales. And at that point, I was going through most of Texas and into Oklahoma as well.
Okay.
And um, as I kind of progressed through that, they started using me for beta testing. And so when there was different technology that there was being available, or they wanted to try out some new things, I was the point guy in Dallas that they used for that. And the guy in the region really that they were using for that, whether it was different kind of PDFs or PowerPoints and all that stuff. You got to remember this was 15 years ago or so. So I started doing that. When my friend who hired me, he decided he was going to retire. And the next day I got a call from a guy who used to work at Guardian Building Products, but he moved over to Southern Shingles when SRS acquired them. And so he called me and said, "Hey, Bryan, I heard that so-and-so retired. And let's go to lunch. Let's go to lunch." So we sat down for lunch, and I really wasn't thinking much of it. I thought that we were just connecting, and on the spot, they offered me a job. And so I took it. So I took the
Okay.
job, and that was in 2012, I believe, is when I started at Southern Shingles.
So your first job, 10 years in the first company.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Since I've been, I would say since I've been 19, I've had 3 jobs. I'm 47 now. I've had 3
Wow.
jobs.
Wow. Hey, Bryan, let me tell you something about this because okay, no, I want you to continue. After you finish, I want to say something about to the community because I got a really important point to say about your experience.
Okay. So I started here at Southern Shingles, and if you don't know, so SRS,
Uh-huh.
they basically acquire different distributors, and they keep the name of those distributors in the regions because those regions are familiar with that brand. And
Okay.
Southern Shingles was the second distributor that SRS bought.
What?
They were the second.
Wow.
Yes. So SRS is fairly new when compared to other distributors out there, which comes important when I talk about SRS. I'll let you know that. So I started here, and I've been here. I stopped. Okay, 2012. I started over here at Southern Shingles, and I grew. And then in 2019, I left Southern Shingles, and I went to go work for a contractor.
Okay.
And in contractor, I had 2 different roles. I was a door knocker, so I went and door knocked for residential roofing, but I also was a commercial sales rep as well. So I was knocking for commercial. So my experience as far as for that is that I know what it's like to door knock. And then I was a sales manager for as well. So I've sold jobs, I've door knocked, I've ran teams, and I know what it's like to be in my contractor's feet. I came back to Southern Shingles to SRS, as we're called now. I came back to SRS in January of last year of 2002.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, Bryan, what did you do in Southern Shingles in those 10 years before you went to the contractors?
I was outside sales. So
Outside sales.
I've been outside sales. As far as my role, I am one of the few guys within SRS in this area in DFW that has been involved in a lot of the new technology, the new programs that we have that we'll talk about, like Para Latinos. And I've always enjoyed those things, those tools, and the programs that are available to our customers out there.
Okay. And your position right now is outside sales too?
That is correct. Yes,
okay.
sir.
Okay. Okay. So Bryan, what I was going to say in a few minutes ago is that I want to tell the community, probably most of the people that is, all the community that is listening, I call it the fam. They are young guys that they see a lot of internet, and they see a lot of Instagram, and they see how they are looking the way how to get rich soon, how to get to the next level the soonest possible with no experience, how to become millionaire, become a business owner. But that's a problem, because growing is not that easy. Growing and reaching a next level is not easy. You just told your story. You have been 22 years in the roofing industry. You have been in all positions. People that is starting already want to reach the next level. Guys, you need to understand that everything has a process and a stage. And Bryan just said it with his experience. It's incredible. Thank you for sharing it. That's what I like to. I like that my guests tell their story so they can see that, hey, life is not impossible. But it's gonna be hard, and it's gonna take a lot of hard work.
We think of even Jeff Bezos. He started at the very bottom in his little books, and then now look where he is. So he went through a process. But I think what is important in this industry is that you have to trip and you have to crawl before you walk. And although it's been a longer process for me, some people may go a little bit sooner. But I have new people that ride with me, and I train them. There's organization, there's follow-up. There are different things that you have to learn in order to be the best who you are.
Yes, and do you know what? Sometimes growing fast, or like the young guys that are growing fast, sometimes it's not the best alternative.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it depends how, like you said right now, it's like you cannot decide how your ride is going to be. We just need to enjoy the ride, work hard, and just keep going. Right.
It just, it's just one day at a time. I can't, you have your eye on the future of what you want to do, but in order to be able to get to that future, you have to know where you are today.
Yes. And what you have in your boots.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Hey, Bryan. Okay, you explain a little bit about SRS Distribution. So they start acquiring these small distributors around the country. They keep the name, the brand. I love that strategy. It's smart. But what else do you guys do? And all these probably you're gonna go hey, Francisco, but everybody knows what SRS does, but I don't know. I don't think so. Can you explain what else do you guys do?
I think the reason I came back to SRS, and the reason I went to SRS to begin with, is I think this is one of the few companies that really, when our motto is make money, have fun, and give back. And I've always worked in corporate atmospheres, and this is one of the few corporate atmospheres that I know that it really is about the people. It's about the employees, number one. And then it's about the customers, because only when we are happy can we also make those around us very happy as well. That's just the way it is in life. And SRS, I think it started back in 2010, maybe 2009. I don't know for sure. But when I started in 2012 with SRS, we're based here in McKinney, Texas. They were a $1 billion company. Today,
already?
$1 billion.
In the second year?
Yes. And now we're a $10 billion company. Nationwide, we're number 2. We are the number 2 distributor behind ABC. Okay. To give you an idea, ABC, everyone knows they've been around a long, long time. They do about 30 billion, I think. and then we're about 10 billion. Just kind of give you an idea. SRS, what makes us is that we're large and growing. All right. And with our technology that we have already from the get-go, we started that from the beginning. And because we started it from the beginning, it is a lot easier to implement changes and technology in the field than it is for some of the other distributors in the system. So in order to get onboarded with us, if you're trying to make the change with your vendors, we make it very easy, and we embrace those that are around us. We're large, but we have a very small field because our people around us are most important. Our bread and butter is roofing materials. So whether it's residential, commercial, coating, specialty, tile, metal, whatever the product is, we do it when it comes to roofing.
Nice.
Within that as well, within the SRS building products umbrella, we also do drywall. We do insulation. Okay. We're going to be stocking LP siding as well. So we've got some other products that we use. We have SRS and then SRS building products. Right next to SRS building products, a sister company is called Heritage. And Heritage Supply does pool supply. So your pool, your filters, the pool, whatever those things are called, I can't remember. So we do pool supplies, and then we also do tiles, so decorative tile and landscaping as well.
Okay. Wow, the full line.
We do a full line. And the great thing, even though these are separate companies, if you are already a pool guy, your credit line goes right into roofing. Should you do like cabanas, you build cabanas, well, why not keep it in the same credit line? If you are a roofer and you want to start expanding, we can keep it in the same credit line as well.
Nice. You said a really important point. Fam, it is important that when you start, and we are going to talk about this later, build a credit with a company and establish a strong relationship. Like, have the commitment and a strong relationship, because once you are in the company and you are working with them, you grow with them, and they support you with all that, and with everything. What you just say right now, that you have all those systems in place, is like they don't need anything else. Like a contractor doesn't need anything else. They go with you, and you can help them with everything. That's super important.
It absolutely. I think I think that's what I always need. Is it like, for me, I think the relationship is probably the most important, because you want to work with who you know, who you like, and who you trust. It's not there's all these little things that everybody thinks they want. They want the best price, they want this, they want that, yada yada. That's not always the number one thing. You know, I mean, trust is probably the most important thing that you can get from anybody. Are they going to answer their phone? If I have issues, are they going to fix those issues? Am I being backed by somebody who's got the support like we do? And the thing about SRS, and you know, another thing that I think about them is that we are growing. And so we are always wanting people to grow with us. We're not growing because because we don't want them to be number one. It's together. We want to grow with everybody together, and that's part of that support system that we have in place that you should have with anybody you work with.
I love it, and I can see that. Since the day one that I met you guys, I met the whole team. I met all the projects that we're going to talk about in a little bit. Like, everything that you are saying, it is true, you know, it is, I see it. So, and that's why I like you guys even more. You know, it's like, okay, I like the way you guys work, and we have the same values, and the values that you just said, they are, those are really important to connect to. So Bryan, okay, imagine a lot of, in the interview, you will see that I do a lot of play roles, and I play the role of a contractor, and I ask you questions. Okay. So here comes the first question. So imagine I'm a contractor. How can I join SRS Distributions, and what are the general benefits that I will have?
Well, I think that the number one benefit that we have going for us is a system called Roof Hub.
Okay.
What Roof Hub is, it is like it's a mini CRM. So there are different customer relation management systems, and most people when they're new, if you're a new contractor, you're doing everything on paper. You're writing everything down. You have your manila folders. You're keeping it in the back of the truck or you're keeping it in the office. And so when you need to look for something, you have to remember the name. You have to remember what the address is. You have to remember, and then you have to go look for it and all that stuff. And so what Roof Hub, what we do is we keep all that in one place for you. So as opposed to you can go paper, you can go and you can search, okay, I remember that's Mrs. Smith calling. Let me look for Smith. And then it comes up with all the orders that you've done in the past. And then from there, you can find all that. So we keep a lot of that information in place for you at one easy location. Within that as well, in DFW, we're a very strong storm market. And so we have hail maps that are in there as well to give you a place to go in there to find the last storm date, to find those maps that you may need. I think another thing that's really helpful for new guys is what are you doing with your orders? Do you know exactly what needs to go on that order? Or are you just looking at the insurance paperwork? Are you taking it to that next step? Are you able to realize what goes on that roof by the order form? And so our order system, we can have a template in place that tells you exactly what you need to order. And the great thing about that is that if you forget about something, when you go to submit, it says, hey, you forgot the pipe flashings. Hey, you forgot the nails. Hey, you forgot the plastic caps. So it really takes a lot of the thinking away so you can be concentrating on other things besides the little simple things. And at the same time, it's helping you to learn what it is to be a better contractor.
Wow. Hey, so what I'm seeing about this is that you guys are solving contractor problems, right?
Absolutely.
What are the main problems? Leads follow up. I'm getting leads, I'm growing, but my sales and my management, it's a mess. Now, the second one, I'm doing my quotes and I forget to put any products, and you guys tell them with that system. And I saw that for the delivery, I think, and tell me if what I'm saying is true, that you have like a map where you can see where your order is.
The same map. We show you where the delivery is.
That's super. Yeah, that's another problem. Where is my product? I ordered it 2 days ago, and I don't see it. You go in the map. I saw we were doing that. We had a similar tool in the automotive industry when I was in Mexico. So when I saw it with you guys, let me tell you something. You guys was a little bit more modern, and it was super. Like the tech that you were using was really good.
So this Roof Hub technology that we came up with, we had recognized a while ago that this needed to happen. And there were some other programs that were out in the system, but we asked. We didn't assume that we knew what Francisco needed. We asked Francisco, what do you think about this program? If you would build one, what do you think would help? And so we're able to use that program, and we're able to integrate with some of the ones that are in this AccuLinks. Job Progress, we're able to integrate with those. Eagle View, we're able to integrate within our system as well. And that's part of the conversation that we have as a consultant. It's not going out there and saying, Francisco, I think you need X, Y, and Z, and then leaving it at that. The conversation goes, Francisco, I think you need A, B, and C. What do you think you need? What is it that you think that makes your job more important? Is there something that you can think about from here? If you don't know, well, let's look here. Let's look at it. So it's an ongoing conversation versus, I'm the biggest guy on the block. This is what it takes to work for me. Here you go. End of the day. It's an ongoing conversation. It's always like this. It's always constantly improving. And that's what separates us from the other guys.
And I can see it because I have worked with big companies, and they are like you said, with their dealers or distributors. They are exactly like that. It is like that, and you don't have any option.
That's right.
I'm the manufacturer. I'm the big brand, and you do it that way. Yeah, and I agree with you that you guys are seeing what is happening in the market. Bryan, does Roof Hub cost?
No, it's actually a zero cost program for all of our clients.
Wow. So Bryan, so with Roof Hub, you like the roofer wouldn't have to buy all the other platforms that you just said, the tools.
They don't have to. It is designed for the people who do not have the capital right now to be that next tier contractor.
Got it.
Now, the next tier contractors, there are still tools within Roof Hub that aligns with their culture. And then the top tier guys, there are still things within Roof Hub that works with them. But it works with every tier customer.
Okay.
And with it being a zero cost item, it really helps minimize all those costs that people think they need to spend when they don't have to. They don't have to.
Yes. They don't have to, and they don't have the money. The money should be invested in other things.
That's right. That's right.
And the first one probably is their salaries, like their wages for the team that is going to build the team. Marketing. That's great. That's great. Hey, okay, Bryan, another benefit that we can have with the Roof Hub besides the one that we just said?
I'd say another one that you have on there is we have training that's on there. We have a gentleman in there. His name is John DeRosa. He is our national training guy, and he actually runs the Roofing Academy. Roofers Academy is what we call it within SRS. We got him from IKO 5, 6, 7 years ago, so he's used to a national training. But within those, we have videos that he goes through, and one section talks specifically about sales and having a sales process. What's an ideal process for you? The next one on there is how to greet. The next one is to talk about findings, presenting your findings. So there's all different steps within the sales process, and they're about 7 to 10 minute videos. They're not 30-minute videos. It's not sitting through a 2-hour training. It's looking at these and saying, hey, that's a great idea. This is nice and quick. I want to implement that. If in the morning, instead of reading the paper, you're drinking your coffee, watch one of those and be thinking about how to start the day and how can I implement this into my day.
That's awesome. Bryan, I say it in every episode. Fam, you guys have everything on the table. This is a free tool with even training. You guys have and we are going to talk about the programs that you have all over the country, but they have it, you have it there, we have it there. It's like they need to decide if they take it or they leave it. But trainings, tools, the maps, CRMs, like what else? I don't need a contractor doesn't need anything else,
Absolutely. And the Francisco, the other thing is too, is that, what you use and how your business works is different than how Bryan Pinder's company works. All that information is out there. You don't have to use all of it, but you can see all of it, and you can take a little bit here and take a little bit there and make your company the way it works best for you. And then when you find someone that works within that, a vendor that you trust, a vendor that helps you grow, and you find people around you that helps you grow as well, nothing will stop you. Nothing can stop you. Only yourself can stop you.
Exactly. And you say one more point, one really good point that I would like to say, Bryan, is that people say like, oh yeah, I have a coach. Some of them have a coach, some of them doesn't have any. But what is the reality? You need to have many coaches. the most coaches you want, because every coach or every manufacturer or every distributor is going to teach you something that you don't know. It's what you said right now, like everyone has something that is going to teach you. And it's important, like it's not like, oh, I have a coach and a consultant and that's it, because everyone knows different things.
They do.
Correct.
And it doesn't mean that you have to listen to every single one of them. You take these little tidbits and you design what you want to out of all of that. I agree.
Bryan, I call them, so they need coaches and anti-coaches. What is the anti-coach? Is a coach that is going to teach you something, but something that you don't want.
That's right.
And sometimes you need that people in your life, but you need to be really observative to see if what they are doing is correct or not, so you learn a lesson. Because if you are not seeing, if you don't have a good analysis of what is happening in your surrounding, you are not going to improve. So we need to really be careful with these coaches and anti-coaches. But yes, it's super good what you just said right now.
I think to go on top of that as well, but I think you also you do need one head coach. So within a baseball team, you have the hitting coach, the pitching coach, the fielding coach, the dugout coach. You have all these different coaches that are there. So it's very good to have a lot of people to give, but you need a head coach. And you need somebody that you trust, that you can tell them some intimate details about. Because if you're hitting that wall and you can't see why you're hitting that wall, but somebody on the other side, there may be a window right there, and they see that all they do is need to unlock that door and open it, that it opens from this side. So you need to have at least one person that you trust for your business to help you get to that next step.
Hey, I haven't seen it that way, but I think you hit it in the head right now with this conversation. You need a head coach, because actually that head coach can direct you with the right people, like, okay, they know about everything, and they know everybody, and they have been 20 years in the industry like you, and they have trained thousands of contractors. They have been in the field, they have been in the distributor, they have been everywhere, they have tried everything. That's why the experience is important. Hey, I like it. I see you as a head coach, Bryan.
Okay.
Yes, man.
I wasn't meaning that, but okay, sure.
No, yeah, for sure, man. Even if you don't believe it. Hey, Bryan. Okay. Hey, what a good topic that we just brainstormed right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. I like it.
Bryan, I'm gonna move a little bit. So to the next topic, that is Latinos.
Okay.
What is the name of the program? Is SRS para Latinos.
Para Latinos.
Para Latinos. So Bryan, tell me more. Why is SRS seeing that trend of the Latinos community, and how are you helping them, and what are you seeing?
So our Para Latinos program is directly focused on the Latinos in the roofing industry. We all know, especially here, I'm going to talk about Dallas, and I know there's some other areas that are the same, but my expertise is Dallas, so I'm going to talk about Dallas. We all know that most of the work that gets done when it comes to roofing is done by Latinos. Okay, I don't think that any of us need to sit there and say that we're going to go find a bunch of European Americans on the roof doing what needs to be done. We're not going to find a bunch of European Americans that are going around and picking up the trash. We're not, you know what I mean, okay? What we're seeing is that we're seeing a lot of these guys that have been doing it for 20 and 30 years. Whatever their story is, they got into roofing, they got into construction. They've had kids, the kids are growing up, they're going to school, they're getting educated, and what they're seeing is well, I can do that, maybe I can do it better, okay? So you have these companies that are out there and they're needing help, and no one's out there to help them. This is a whole segment that is just they think they have to do it on their own. The machismo is out there, I can do it on my own, when they don't have to. They don't have to. they've got a program behind them that they can feel safe to going. Not only if you have someone that they have an accent, they think in Spanish. Now they know English, but they think in Spanish. Yo he estado aprendiendo español desde julio. ¿Ok?
Excelente.
Cuando yo escuchando otra persona hablar en español, primero pienso en inglés, entonces, en español es de blah, blah, blah. So it's slow. You think really slow because you're trying to make sure you say it right, and you remember, but you don't know for sure. When you start talking money, that's very important, right? It's very important. So at Para Latinos, the Para Latinos program, what they wanted to do, they wanted to make it safe. This is a safe place and a safe program for people who may not feel comfortable talking everything in English. It's a safe place for them. It's a place for them to go to see other like-minded people. It's a place to go where people like the same things, people that look alike, that are from the same culture. We can add a bunch of different things in here within the Para Latinos program. For me, that is the same that my ancestors did when they came to the United States. They were going, the Irish were together, the English were together, the Germans were together, the Norwegians. Why? Same language, same culture, same values. They all came together, okay? And what do we call that? We call that the American dream, no? That's what the American dream is, to go there and to be successful. We are lucky because now we're seeing it today. We get to see this, and now there's this new thing that's coming in. And so there's part of it is that you've got this whole new group of clients that we can help foster and grow and get within our family. But at the base level of it, when you have a whole segment of people that can get where they need to be, and we can help support get to where that is, to me, I don't think there's anything better at the end of the day.
Nice.
Yes. I love it. I love what you just said. And I think that's another reason why we connect, is because our values are pretty similar, and helping to the roofing community. Actually, it's not a value. It's our purpose. It's our purpose.
There it is. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And fam, I'm gonna explain what a purpose is. How can you explain a purpose, Bryan?
A purpose versus a value. I think a purpose would be when you are focused on something that gives you meaning, something that makes your heart warm. You want to do that. So my purpose in life is to make sure that my fellow people are taken care of, and that I see other people succeed. It's not always about my success, because you succeed, my success is there with you.
Exactly. Who are you going to leverage with you? Not worrying if you are gonna make money, not worrying if you are gonna your company's gonna grow, because you are doing it because you want to help others. And fam, purpose is one of your brand values, company values. For your foundations, you need that. SRS, Bryan, and myself, and a lot of people in the community, we have a similar purpose, and that's why we connect.
That's right.
Because we are helping. This podcast, it is for that. Exactly, and that's why.
If you think about purpose, also there's a really good YouTube video by a guy named Simon Sinek, and it's knowing your why. And so the purpose is, you have to know, why do you get up in the morning? Is it your family? Is it because you want your family to live in a good home and you want to be able to support them? There's your purpose. There's your why. You know, do you want to get rich? Okay, but how do you do it? How do you get there? You want to get rich, but being rich, that's not the motivation. That's not the motivation. There's always something below what that why is. What is your why?
And we are not gonna get into that. And those parts, everything that you just said is part of your brand philosophy. That it's super important. That a lot of contractors that are starting, they don't put any time on this, but it is one of the most important part. They are your foundations.
The most important part. And that's what I always ask when I'm meeting with somebody. So why are you doing this? What got you into this industry?
Yes, and fam, and to build this, you will need time. It's not like you are gonna come with this like one day and one day you will have a purpose. You need to think about it, why, and you have to look deep in you. Absolutely. Okay, Bryan. Okay, I'm gonna combine coaching and Latinos.
Okay.
Most of the Latinos communities are in the roof, as you know. A lot of them, they are not taking trainings or they are not progressing because what they always tell me is, I don't have time. I need to go check out the guys. I need to be in the roof. The problem is that that is not gonna take them to the next level. How can they go to the next level? How can they separate from the operation so they can start focusing on themselves and in training and in all this?
So I would always ask somebody, you have to check on the guys. Do you have people around you that you trust? Do you think they can do the right job? So are you taking the time because you can't trust them? Or is it because you don't want to give up control? One of those things you're going to have to get rid of. In order to move up, you have to get rid of one of those things. The people that you have around you, you have to be able to trust. You have to have someone to be able to take care of that so you can make you grow. So that's number one. I say number two, what about El Sábados? Los Sábados, they're perfect, right? They're perfect for trainings, they're perfect for lunches. And so most of our trainings, we will do them on Saturdays.
Nice.
And so please don't tell me that you have to check the guys on a Saturday. Come on. All right. I'm not asking you to give up church on Sunday. I'm not asking you to give up the family time on Sunday. But a Saturday, you can take time on Saturday to do what it takes. If it's 2 hours, come on, 2 hours. 2 horas, come on. Or if it's 4 hours, come on. It pays itself. It's just like getting a payday because you are going to improve.
Actually, probably it's more than a payday. Big, right?
Yeah, it is.
Probably, fam, you are not seeing it there in that training. You are not getting paid there, but in the future, what those trainings are giving to you, it's invaluable.
And it's not only what you have to say, and it's not only what I have to say. That's a small part of these. When you get around with other people, have conversations, make connections. Because what one person is doing, you can have the conversation. When you came and you did your lunch and learn at our place, the whole room connected. That person over there learned something from that person. That person learned something from that guy. And guess what? That guy learned something from him over there. Everybody left your lunch and learn saying, Bryan, thank you. Francisco had so much to say, but man, did I learn a lot from so-and-so. It's not just about who's talking. It's about the gente. It's about the otros techeros. It's about the conversations.
Yes, the network that you do with others. Yes. No, I love it because it's not only the training, it's everything that comes around.
Absolutely.
Bryan, before I forget, you said control. you need control. How can I control? You said you need to, I need a team that you can trust. Time, Saturdays. I say always to like wake up early. I wake up 6 to 8. You don't do anything, and your family is sleeping. But about control, and I think that's one of the hardest things to do. How can you control your team when you are not there?
Well, I think that you right there, the word control to me, I think control is a bad word. What do you do to control yourself? You know, if someone says you need to have self-control, you're going to be like, what? What do you mean? Why? Why? So I think everybody thinks they need to control so much around them. I think what you need to look at is that you need to trust those around you. We cannot control what happens around us all day. You cannot control if someone did not go through that yellow light, that they stopped, and then you almost hit them because you normally go through the yellow light. You cannot control if there's construction on that road and it makes you late. You can't control whether your kids got good grades or they listen to you or not. You cannot control anything. What you can do is that you can trust that everything around you is okay, and that we just deal with what we have around us.
Yes. Yeah. Bryan, what about process? Integrating some process to your team?
Oh my gosh, if you do not have a process, you are failing. You are failing. You know, you have to have a good offense. You have to be able to know what you're going to do each and every day. It doesn't mean it's going to go exactly to plan. But if you start here and then you go there, if something goes wrong, what happens next? If you don't have a process, there you go. You have to have a process so you know if something does go wrong, what can I do to bring them back? If you have a process for your jobs and you know if something goes wrong, someone texts you and said, uh-oh, these shingles are not right. What's going to happen? What's the next step? You have
two options. You have two options, right? And sometimes I think a lot of contractors and business owners in general, and probably even like executives, like everything is in a map. Actually, one of the best way to put process is with the process mapping. Everything is under control. And when you don't have that map, is when you get all stressed out, like, I don't know what to do, what I'm going to do. Or when you start a new, like you start shingles and then you go to coatings and to TPO, everything goes under control and they say it's really difficult. I think that's the opportunity with the process in place. And I think go ahead.
I agree. I agree. And so when you come back to Dallas, okay, when you come back, I want you to meet me here in my office in Coppell. I'm going to give you my address, and you cannot look at GPS, you cannot look at map, and you need to go find it.
Come on, man.
That is what people are doing on every day. They are going and they've got their crews, they've got their jobs, and they don't have anything. All they're doing is they are doing that. They're giving you an address, and they're expecting you to go find it.
Yes, and fam, this is a problem that every executive and business owner and professional is going to go through. It's not only you, but the thing right now is how you solve it. How are you going to work on that opportunity?
That's right. That's right.
So, Bryan, what is the best way, like that you have seen with all the contractors that you have trained or you have worked, that they put together? Like, how do they deliver it? Do they deliver it with a paper and a process? Do they get more professional and they use tools? Like for someone that is started, what have you seen?
Well, I think, obviously the first thing you need to do is you need to write what you think it is. And you can keep it simple, right? So you have basically start with 5 points that happens within a job. And then within each job, then you have a process there, and you make room for it. So you have 5 pieces of paper, 5 main areas, and then you have subcategories here, okay? And so what I think what people should do is they should have, if you have a delivery, all right, and you have a crew lead that's out there taking care of this, you always have the jefe out there that's running the job, right? They are running the equipo. And so the jefe has this right here. And so they have it just there, just in case. And so if something goes wrong, they can look at it and they can see right here, okay, my first call is to Bryan at SRS. Mm-hmm. And so let me ask what Bryan was going to ask. But wait a minute, but he doesn't speak Spanish. Oh, here's a name for somebody that speaks Spanish. Let me call him at SRS, as opposed to trying to find out where it is. Mm-hmm. So you can have points of context. You can have different ways. But yes, I think that most people, what they do is they will have a piece of paper, if it's in a 3-ring binder or in a spiral, just something that they keep with them so they can flip just in case.
Fam, you don't have to complicate it. Bryan just told you the way you have to do it. So, Bryan, excellent explanation. Bryan, okay, I'm the contractor that I was saying in the beginning. I have my team that I trust them. I have my process. I have everything, I don't want to say under control, but everything looks more in place. Okay. Now, I'm ready to take my first training. Which one should be? Because, hey, Bryan, there is sales, marketing, finance, direct operation. Where should I start?
That's not for me to answer. That's not for me to answer.
Love it.
What do you think you need? You know, and if you don't think you have a need, you're doing it wrong.
Yes. Hey, Bryan, but how can I know? How can I know what I need? I don't know. Is there a tool?
Talk to your vendor partner. Talk to me. Let me see what your process is, and let me give you a recommendation. Exactly. You can take it. If you don't take it, it's okay. It's your business. But listen to someone.
Exactly. Look, I love what you said. It's like depending on us. What training are we gonna focus on? Because I'm really good in marketing. Why am I gonna take good? Like, I need to train on marketing, but probably I can learn something else. Now,
you have to think as a contractor. You have to think of your distributor partner. You have to think of me as a free employee. Okay, that's what I am. I am a free employee for you. And so I am the person that you should be able to call and say, hey, this is an issue that I came across. What do you think? Hey, I'm not making enough money on these jobs. Can you help me figure out where I can help some of that stuff? Right? So some of these issues are really easy and some of them are not. But how do you know? How do you know? You have to have someone like me, your free employee, to help work through those processes.
Exactly. Actually, that's one of my first recommendations that I give to the communities. Strengthen your relationship with your distributors and manufacturers. The information that you guys know, it's incredible. You guys have probably in your headquarters, you are 300 people, you know? Imagine having 300 professionals together, have brainstorming all day. It's like, yes, I like that.
And you're new, and you may not know who you need to go to. But guess what? I've been in this industry for 20 years. I know somebody. I know somebody who knows somebody. My network is big because I talk. I love to talk. And you know what I love about learning Spanish and being able to talk to the Latino community? That's a whole new group of people I can learn and I can know now.
Yes.
And that's what it's about, growing the communities.
Yes. So, Bryan, what do you think about doing a SWOT analysis?
Consulting analysis?
No, strengths, weaknesses, strictness, and a SWOT.
Oh, okay. I think that's something that you need to do on an annual basis. I mean, you know, some people say New Year's resolutions. I don't like that term, but I think it's a good idea to go and look and see where did I fall and even if you do it quarterly or twice a year, I think that's something that you really need to do, because if I failed here, then how do I fix it? And if I'm really good here, how do I capitalize on that?
Yes, so that's a really good tool to analyze ourselves besides the coach. So because a lot of, and it's like what we said in the beginning, we need to get a little bit from everything and from tools that are out there to start knowing ourselves and start getting with you that you know all this information.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So Bryan, okay, I already survived my first stage. I left the crew working by themselves. My company is running. I'm making between 100 to 1 million. Everything is a mess. I don't know what it's going on, but I don't know how. So where should I focus? Marketing or sales if I can grow my company? And that's the $100 million dilemma in the industry.
Well, you got two different things there. You've got, if you're doing $1 million and it's really, really busy and you don't know how it's surviving, you know, when's the last time you took a step back and looked at your processes? You know, the owner needs to relax too. The owner needs to have time with his family too. The owner needs to learn things. So is it time to hire? You know, if you're doing $100,000 and you want to grow, then where are your leads coming from? You know, is it word of mouth? Is it from the network? Is it from social media? Where is that coming from? You know, if your margin's only 10%, why are you losing money? You need to take some. So there's a lot of different answers that you can have there.
Yes, well, we come back to the point. You need to step back, analyze yourself again, and now, but analyze your company. That's but right. I don't think you are going to be able if you are focusing all day long in the operation and installing.
And that's why. So that's what I do. You know, I go in and I go in for like an hour, and I will look from beginning to end in your company. But I would need 100% honesty. If you are not going to show me everything, there is no reason to have this conversation. You have to be honest not only with yourself, but you have to be honest with me.
Yes.
And I will tell you what I see. Now, I don't have all the answers. I never have until I die, I will never have all the answers. I'm always learning also, because I have to do this to myself. I'm learning every day. But with my experience, I can show you, this is what it is. Here is my recommendation. I think you need to do this. And you can take it, and it may work. It may not. But at least you have someone else. But most importantly, if you're being honest with yourself, and you're being honest with someone else.
And some of the truths that you are gonna hear from a coach, probably you don't wanna hear them, because they are gonna touch your biggest weaknesses or opportunities.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be a dolor for sure. Grana,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Bryan, damn, it's incredible. We have been already talking for almost 1 hour. I love this.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
So, Bryan, I wanna start with the conclusion with 2-3 different questions. The first one: why do you think? What are the main reasons that you are seeing a contractors fail? The 3 main ones.
Honesty with themselves. Looking at money only.
Yes.
And processes.
Process, love it. I agree with you. These questions, I'm doing it to every guest, so we can see, like, if they are listening, the people, the community that is listening, they can see, like, most of them are pretty similar.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
Oh, yeah.
it's not. I always say it's not rocket science. You know, like the same problems. Companies have the same problems.
Oh,
Right?
yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, Bryan, the second one. What is one recommendation that you could give to the contractors? Like if you can live with only one, the most important. It's okay if you already said it. What is the one that you like that you will leave?
Find a head coach.
Lord. Hey Bryan, you are hitting it all of them in the head, man. I love it. And the last one, and this is not related. I'm gonna move topic, and this is the last part of the conversation is, I don't know. I know you guys have different trainings in different in the country and in Dallas and in Texas. What are the next events that we are gonna have in the next month so the people that are listening they can join? I'm going to one by the end of the month in Southern Shingles about legal with Pete and Mike from Martinez Shoe. And I know you have different ones. What are the next ones so they can join?
So the only one that I know right now, there is the one that you talked about, and that's actually on a Saturday. It's the last Saturday of the month to talk about legal and specifically about liens. Liens are a big issue right now. And I think there's a lot of the legal side that the community, Latino community, just is not aware of. So that's a very important one. As far as other trainings, we have not set any up. We are working on some with our Latino partners, GAF and Certainty. They've been big partners within the Para Latinos program. I know I want to give a shout out to Amparo and the Latinos in Roofing program. She will have some training. Her and Daniel will have some trainings out there as well.
Awesome.
So we're always going to have training. So they're not set yet, but we are working on those. But I would also ask that if there is something that is needed, if there's a training that you are curious about, then we will set it up. I'd like to do one. I'm trying to find one on financial planning.
Wow.
So I want to find one. What I am at right now is trying to find someone that speaks Spanish that can do it correctly for the community. So any topic I'm looking at trying to get more of.
Nice. And Bryan, where can the community know about these trainings? Like, where are you guys communicating them?
So as far as for nationwide or anything that's within the Latino community, if you go to SRS, the section is called Para Latinos. If you go to our website and go to the Para Latinos site, then you can sign up for our newsletter. And that comes across, and it's totally en español and totalmente en español, so that in that way you can actually see the entrenamientos and nosotros programamos.
Mm-hmm.
Programamos, yes, what we are scheduling.
Okay, así lo que estamos programando,
yes.
Programando para
Estamos
futuro,
yes. Or vamos a programar.
O van a programar, yeah. Yes. I love it. What I love about the website is that you have a section specifically for the community. You know?
Yes.
That's I appreciate. I always tell all my guests that I support in my community, I appreciate. Tell your CEO, please, that this message, and to you, Lisa, too, that I appreciate all the support, because the community, the Latino community in this industry specifically needs a lot of help. And all my guests that are doing it, and all my connections that are doing it, I'm appreciating them.
I want also for you to know, because that's why we do it. And I think and I don't want the idea to think is that SRS is only doing it for business. This is just, that is not the case. And I think that, as you well know, because we've had enough conversations, that when you talk to people, you can see this. You can see what's in their heart. You can see if it's real or not. You talk to Julissa. You talk to Edgar. You talk to anyone within the Para Latinos program. I hope that I show that this is something we really care about. This is not a get rich quick thing. This is support because it's at the core. It's what we care about.
No, and Bryan, even you can see it when the goal or the purpose is not there that is helping. You can see it, and even I like to say, like, you can smell it, you know. So
yeah.
So I know that this is and it's free, you know.
And it's free. And it's free.
Okay, Bryan, one more last message that you want to give to the community before we close the conversation.
I would say thank you for trying. You know, thank you for your entrepreneurial spirit. Thank you for wanting to have the American dream. The obstacles that y'all face are bigger obstacles than I will ever know about. And I appreciate you. I appreciate what you go through each and every day. I appreciate what you face each and every day. But I want you to know that there are people out here to help you, that care about you and want to see you succeed. And that's why Francisco does this.
Nice. I love it. Pam, we are going to close with this message. I'm not going to say anymore because if I say something else, we are going to just keep going and we are going to keep it for another hour. We are going to have a part 2. I will let you know. So I always did half of the topics that I want to go with you, Bryan. Okay. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate and for the support that you specifically are doing. And fam, one more time, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share if you like it so more people can benefit about this valuable information that Bryan and all the guests are providing. And don't forget to like. Fam, thank you very much and see you in next week. Peace.
Parte de mi vida, mi mamá y papá vinieron de Colombia. Entonces mi mamá trabajaba en limpiando casas, mi papá trabajaba en la construcción. Y sacrificaron mucho y gracias a Dios me dieron la oportunidad para tener el privilegio de tener una educación.
Lo importante aquí no es de la edad que tengas, es las experiencias que tengas, ¿sabes? Yo tengo 34, soy más grande, pero más o menos ahí vamos. Entonces sí, no, eso no tiene nada que ver.
Tenemos ya a un dirigente de marketing que va a hacer videos para la compañía, se va a encargar de las redes sociales. Tenemos a alguien que se va a encargar de la producción, alguien que se va a encargar de llamando la aseguranza.